What's good, YouTube? Fairdale Kings coming back at you again with another EA Sports College Football 25 video. We're still working toward the goal of giving you guys the information for the Dynasty Deep Dive blog, which was several hour read. I've kind of read through it, digested the information I'm sharing with you guys. So follow along with this series. This is going to be part 2 of recruiting. We're working on stage 2 pitch, as well as stage 3, closing the deal. You see I'm wearing my Alabama football t-shirt. It's just some fun I'm having with it. I'm a University of Louisville fan, but I'm also supporting all the other programs. Right now I have 84 shirts total. If you guys enjoy these videos, make sure you're commenting down below, hit like and subscribe, but let's get into it. So stage 2 pitch. After the recruit narrows their top schools down to 5, it's time to begin pitching the prospect on your school and what you have to offer. Sell yourself, sell your school. Said that multiple videos now. By this point, you should have a good amount of information about the prospect and what they really care about. So the more information you have at your disposal, the more surgical you can be with your pitch. If you don't have much information about the prospect, you will effectively be flying blind and risk pitching them on something they do not care about. If your pitch does not align, if it doesn't hit with their motivation, it can actually have an adverse effect on their perception of you and your program. When pitching a prospect, there are 2 different pitch types that you can use. One is you can soft sell. It awards just a moderate amount of influence when choosing the correct pitch, but it also limits the damages. It limits the downside risk and penalty of pitching the prospect on something they don't really care about. This is best for when you have some idea of what the recruit is motivated by. The other option is to hard sell. Sell, sell, sell. Go after them. Hard sell provides the most influence when choosing the correct pitch, but it also comes with the largest penalty if you pitch the wrong thing. It is best to hard sell the recruit when you know their ideal pitch, or if you're just desperate and hoping for the best. You're just throwing something on the wall and hope it sticks. You know, you might be desperate. You need someone. You've got a couple positions of need. Maybe you're going after a 5-star. Hey, throw the kitchen sink at them. We'll see what happens. That's understandable. But after selecting the pitch type, you will then select your pitch. Each pitch is a collection of 3 motivations, and there are 20 pitches in total. For example, the Sunday bound pitch sells a recruit on your school being a championship contender, its conference prestige, and your school's track record of sending kids to the next level. How well the pitch aligns with the prospect's motivations, as well as your associated My School grades, will ultimately determine how well your pitch lands with the prospect. You can increase the impact of your My School grades with the upsell ability. If your school does not perfectly align with their ideal pitch, or if you're looking for a way to get a competitive advantage, you can sway the prospect and change their motivation. Successfully swaying a prospect will give them a second ideal pitch that is only available to you. It's possible that the second ideal pitch also creates a third ideal pitch combination as a result. Your chances of successfully swaying a prospect increases the more overlap there is between their ideal pitch motivation and the pitch you're trying to sway them on. It is possible to sway them on a pitch with 0 motivation overlap, but it's very low probability of success. So you're saying there's a chance? Yes, there's a minor chance, slim. But for example, let's say the prospect's current idea pitch is he's a hometown hero, which includes campus lifestyle, proximity to home, and program tradition. Makes sense. To increase your probability of success, you would want to sway them on a pitch that also has 1 or 2 of the hometown hero motivations. In this example, let's sway the prospect on the college experience pitch, which includes academic prestige, campus lifestyle, and stadium atmosphere. If our sway is successful, the prospect will now care about the academic prestige and stadium atmosphere, in addition to the 3 motivations they already cared about as part of their ideal pitch. So a successful sway gives you the ability to pitch 2 or more ideal pitches for maximum influence gain. It also provides you with the opportunity to more closely align the prospect with your school's strengths. This is an incredibly powerful action, and if used properly, it can separate you from the pack. We look here at the Alabama recruiting board, coincidentally. We're looking at Taylor Masafilo, who's a 4-star recruit. He's the number 1 halfback. Looks like he's narrowed it down to his top 3, and you're number 3 on his board. But he's going to hard sell, and it says, the hard sell is it awards the most influence when choosing the correct ideal pitch, but also has the largest penalty when wrong. Most useful when you know the recruit's ideal pitch or are desperate. The cost is 40 hours. Maximum influence, though, is 5 thumbs ups, basically. So, there's risk and reward, but if you hit pretty big. You're going to get a lot of points or XP or whatever it is that's going to sit there and influence the recruit. Now, looking at the next screen, we see that you could pitch workhorse. You see that bottom right corner that's white with the horse? That's workhorse. Now, the recruit is interested in athletic facilities, A+. You have an A+. Brand exposure, you're an A+. He's interested in that. And pro potential, because Alabama sends a boatload of guys to the NFL. So you check the boxes in 3 main categories, which is beautiful. You're going to sign this guy. I mean, Alabama is a running back factory. This, though, correlates with stage 3, which is close. I call it sealing the deal. You've got to close the deal. You got to sit there and finalize it. So this is where those great coaches come in, and they can go into the family and shake hands and kiss babies. You go in there, you let your DC, your OC, recruit. At the end of the day, it's the head coach who everyone recognizes. Come in, sit down with the family, and tell them everything they need to hear and close the deal. So the final step in recruiting journey is to close. This is when you bring the prospect in for an official visit and you attempt to leave a lasting impression with them. In order to schedule a visit with a prospect, they must be down to their top 5 schools. And you need to have offered them a scholarship. No recruit wants to take the time to visit somewhere that they don't even have a scholarship offer on the table, at least in an official capacity. A recruit can only take an official visit to a school when they are on a bye week or they have a home game. And to be honest with you, you want to bring guys in for home games. You don't get the same bonuses for bringing a guy in during the bye week. Additionally, and this is very important, I don't think this was in other games. I thought you can do something different, but I'm going to carry on with this. I really don't like this. Additionally, schools can only host up to 4 recruits in a single week. You have got to really plan out when you're bringing guys in. And really, you need to bring in guys during ranked games that you know you're going to win and against rivals. If you bring them in if you're in Alabama and you're bringing them against Kennesaw State, who cares? But if you bring them in and you pair up a running back, or say, for instance, a quarterback with a wide receiver, or a quarterback with a left tackle, that even gives you more of a bonus. So you want to bring them in and let them enjoy the experience. So when scheduling a visit with a prospect, you will be charged 40 recruiting hours, but the cost to schedule a visit does not count toward the maximum number of hours you can allocate to the recruit in a week. This allows you to continue your normal recruiting of the prospect in the same week you schedule a visit. And then a visit is broken down into 2 main parts: scheduling and activity. Timing is everything when it comes to scheduling a visit. Waiting to bring the recruit in for a big-time rivalry game late in the season could have a lot of upside, but it does carry risk, since there's a chance the prospect will commit somewhere else prior to even making it onto campus to visit you. Who you play the day of the visit also matters. Every visit during the regular season comes with a set of game day stakes, which determine the influence bonus you will receive with the recruit for winning the game and the potential downside for a loss. The stakes are set by the importance and visibility of the game the prospect will be attending. Let's be honest. Nobody wants to go a game in a weak environment playing a lower tier opponent will provide very little upside and major downside if you lose. Conversely, playing your rival who's a top 5 team will have the potential to leave a lasting impression. Of course, you can avoid any risk entirely by scheduling during a bye week, but then you do not receive any game-related bonuses at all if you bring a player in during a bye week. Finally, the other prospects who are visiting that weekend can have a positive or negative impact based on whether or not their positions are complementary or competitive. For example, if you bring in a quarterback and a left tackle at the same time during a visit, that gives you a complementary bonus. Whereas scheduling 2 quarterbacks to come in at the same time is considered a competitive visit and will negatively impact both of those visits. So both players are going to have a negative feel, regardless if you win or not, because like, hey, why is he here? Like, you took your girlfriend and your mistress to the beach at the same time while you left your wife at home. What are you doing? Like, you're running back and forth trying to keep 2 chicks happy and you keep none of them happy. And your wife's at home with the kids. Like, I'm not saying that ever happened, but, it could potentially. That's an analogy. Some of you guys might relate to it. Others are like, what are you talking about, FK? Anyway, getting back to this. After setting which state the prospect is going to visit, the next step is to select that they're going to do on their visit, what they're going to do. There are 14 activities a recruit can do during a visit, and each activity maps to a prospect motivation. Similar to pitches, the alignment of the recruit's interest level in that activity and your My School grade will determine how much the recruit enjoys the visit. I did a breakdown on this the other day, and I used NCAA 13 and 14 as a model. So, like, if a guy liked brand exposure, you take him to the press box. If a guy likes coach prestige, you take him out to dinner. So there's different events which they haven't, I guess, exposed yet, but it's very similar to the previous game. So you're going to have some kind of activity that's going to be linked to each motivation. So nailing the visit can often be the difference between bringing in a top 5 class or being left at the altar on signing day. If things go well, there's a chance the recruit will verbally commit to your school following the visit. That's a big bonus. While you should feel good about securing a verbal commitment, it is critical to stay on top of things until they sign their letter of intent on signing day. If a prospect is verbally committed and they have a deal breaker, they will decommit from your school if you fall below the required grade threshold prior to signing day. So if you have a deal breaker and a guy is on the line, you want to make sure you stay above that level so that you don't lose that prospect. Once a player is signed on signing day, you will have nothing to worry about until they arrive on campus, and your next challenge is keeping them happy and out of the transfer portal. Again, we're looking at Brian McAdley, 4-star strong safety, top 5, interest level number 3. Bring him in on a visit, against an FCS school in November, week 12. What are we doing? That's SEC scheduling for you. That's Bama getting ready to go play Auburn. But anyway, so you see over here, you got complimentary visits, competitive visits. So you've got other guys coming in. You got to make sure that it has a loss with, I don't know what's going on here. But, you want to make sure that you win this game. It's a lower ranked team, lower division team. And, there's always a chance that you might be bringing in 2 running backs at the same time or, other guys that might be competition. So, you got to play that well. Here you look at it. If, if you do get a win, you get 2 arrows up because it is a lower tier opponent. It's a rivalry game. But if you lose that game, buddy, you're killing yourself for recruiting. You would have 4 arrows down, which is horrible. You don't want to lose to FCS. Is it Southeast? This is Auburn up here on this one. But, it's a rivalry game, but they're a lower tier opponent. You've got to make sure that you plan this out, bringing guys when they're going to enjoy the games. This is still the same player. You see that he wants to attend a position meeting because he enjoys playing time. So there's 14 motivators up there. The activity is for him. You're going to focus on playing time. And like I said, you're going to have him attend one of your position meetings. Finally, you were able to convince this guy to commit. You see he's a 4-star athlete. He's committed. They got the little information up there. The foam thumb or foam finger pointing up. You've got the pennant. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's a good time. This guy's committed to the program. You've actually won the mini game, so take pride in that. Anyway, so that wraps up recruiting. I'm going to have some more videos. I got to figure out which path I'm going to go down next. But this does wrap it up. I've completed 5 videos, which was, starting the program basically, coach. And then now we've gone down the path of recruiting, looked at recruits individually and pipelines. Now we've gone down, the different paths that you have as far as discovery, as far as pitches, and then closing the deal. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. There's going to be some more videos coming out. We're less than 12 days away, guys. Let's go. Let's go. I'm turning out these videos left and right. As I get some more information, I'll be releasing it. If someone, drops a team builder or road to glory or whatever, we'll jump on that and give you some information. But, my forte at the end of the day, I'm concentrating on Dynasty. I'm going to be streaming games. We're going to be doing live content, tips, and strategy and whatnot. So that's where my primary focus is at. I will give a breakdown on some other stuff as that becomes available, but stay tuned in, stay locked in with the channel, hit like and subscribe, comment down below. Other than that, Fairdale Kings, and I'm out.